Welcome back, Naomi Blohm, as well as Mark Gold rejoining us. Naomi, it looks pretty bearish in the wheat market right now. I mentioned it before the break, and we saw export cancellations this week. What can save the wheat market at this point?
Yeah, we're going to need to see some sort of a weather issue emerge somewhere this summer to get the wheat market to move higher. Seasonally, it does have that opportunity to spark a little higher here in the coming weeks, as Mark had kind of alluded to earlier. But we need to be really watching for a weather issue. So we're going to be watching the primary locations with the European Union, watching the Black Sea region where it still is on the drier side. Of course, keeping an eye on Russia as well. Funds still short over 100,000 contracts. So if we can get some friendly news, we could see those funds buy back those short positions and see a nice push higher into that early summer timeframe.
Mark, when you look at the US dollar and the tariff situation that's going on, how big of an influence is the dollar having on exports?
Well, certainly if we can get the dollar cheaper, we're still at a high price dollar here. 98 cents, 99 cents is still pretty high. If we can get that down to 90, 88 cents, that's going to be a big help for our exports, make us much more competitive around the world. And I think we've got a chance to do that. We haven't been under even money for ages. We got down to just under 98 the other day, had a little bounce. But I think the dollar could see certainly more long-term bearish action, which would be helpful for our exports. On the wheat market, again, I don't want to be bearish on the lows. I want to be looking to buy something. And I think maybe Wednesday or Thursday will be your opportunity.
Naomi, feeder cattle prices trading higher. Is it all buyer demand, or what's supporting those prices?
That cash market just continues to be on fire throughout portions of the Midwest. And that's been definitely supporting prices as well. As we finished out the week here, we're seeing cattle and feeder cattle prices retesting recent highs. And we're all looking and waiting to see if there's legitimate cash news that can follow along to support the futures prices even higher yet, and some technical buying. But we have seen the funds start to exit those long positions. So we're at kind of a tug of war point with prices at these recent highs. And again, looking like a hedging opportunity, but we are continuing to hear whispers of strong cash markets developing.
Well, looking at the fundamental side also, USDA's cattle on feed report, Mark, showed cattle on feed as of April 1st was down 2% from a year ago, placements up 5%. Were there any surprises there?
Well, the placements were a little bit higher than expected. That was the only real surprise out there. The market opened kind of steady, tried to rally, broke, closed lower, but we've been higher since then. So I think what the market's trying to tell us is, as long as this cash market stays as strong as we are, we made contract highs yesterday and today in the cattle. Feeders are just right behind it. Cattle trading 213 in the south. It could be 215, 216 in the north this week. We have to see that the box beef demand starts to back off. We're still at 333 today. We need to see that come down dramatically. But until the American housewife stops buying beef at the retail counter, we can sustain these prices. But, considering all the talk about the economy, can we sustain these prices? It seems unlikely. And I agree with Naomi that here's an opportunity. You're at contract highs. Why wouldn't you buy some puts? Do some LRP, do something. Sell some futures and buy a call option to protect yourself. But there's got to be some marketing done at these kind of levels.
All right, Mark, Naomi, thank you so much for joining us. Up next, we're traveling out east to see a working Oliver 1655. And for an avid Oliver collector, this one is his favorite. We'll show you why next.
Watch Markets Now with Michelle Rook on the Farm Journal YouTube channel, keeping you updated throughout the day on the markets at the open, midday, and close. Find out what moved the markets today and what to expect the market to do next.